Holy Jesus, Skyrim has not aged well visually. I mean, I'm a pretty vain guy who only really wants things that look nice, like my girlfriend, my setup, or my room. But fuck me, does going back to Skyrim hurt my eyes. Should I care about how a game looks? Yeah. Some people don't give any consideration to how visual design and coherence empower a story, and I don't understand them. Anyway, Skyrim. The golden child of... when? 2011? Fuck, I'm old. I don't know if 5 years is long enough to justify a re-release of a game on a new platform with a few god rays pulled from Fallout 4, but hey, I'm going to play it. Let's not pretend Skyrim's perfect though. It's fucking not. It's got problems out its arse, and Bethesda refuses to do anything about them, but hell, I still love the game. The refreshing open world and sensible but still nuanced combat really glossed over our eyes, didn't it? Remember back in the days of Morrowind and Oblivion where dual-wielding magic and swords didn't exist, or when the UI required a 3-part correspondence course? Me either. I just remember a lot of neat story going down and voice acting by a recent terminal bronchitis patient. But at least my rose-tinted glasses are fashionable. Dropped into the coldest region of Tamriel as the fabled Lizardkin, ready to devour the souls of every scaly motherfucker you pass, you're greeted with literally the worst RPG intro scene I've seen. A scary encounter with a big lizard, and then a pointless encounter where you either choose to go through a tunnel with the cunts who wanted to kill you, or the Stormcloaks, a bunch of racist assholes. I can't remember ever getting angry at the combat mechanics, which is a really good thing if you want a game to be fun. I'd roam the world for hours at a time, picking up quests, finding new towns or shacks with many a thing to do and always wandering with some purpose. Often I'd be on an 80-degree incline as well, but we can ignore that if the story's good, right? No. Half the fun of this game's combat was exploiting glitches to screw with the expected laws we think this world would have for us. Jumping up rocks to get out of swing distance of an ice elemental, being stealth crouched behind a well-placed apple on a table, and being able to backstab 2 people looking at each other. This game is fucking broken, but when it does work, it still retains its enjoyment. Oh, and I wanted to give a mention to the way the game drip feeds you quests, so you never feel like you're standing in the middle of a bustling city with nothing to do. A+ job. Fuck me, this game is ugly. Hell, compared to other games of its year, Skyrim is ugly. A lot of people jump straight onto the mods to try and argue that Skyrim isn't ugly. It doesn't work like that. I'm judging the game you buy, not the disjointed mess you can make with it with a few Batman mods. It really doesn't hold up well. Animations were fine enough, sure, but textures were extremely inconsistent, models looked terrible up close, the lighting was atrocious, and the sounds were mediocre. I'm not looking to cry my eyes out at a beautifully rendered tree stump after every hill I climb, but I would at least ask that a comparison to Minecraft's visuals wasn't reasonable. However, there wasn't any point where I felt like the visual theme of the game was broken, just underdeveloped. I never lost the feeling that I was in Tamriel, I just kept being reminded that I was in a game. There were so many times I'd be scurrying about in Dwemer ruins, fighting clockwork guards and getting lost in the wonder and excitement of it all. Then I'd wander around the corner and find a rock on the ground that had half its texture missing. It was like a stray fart during sex, and that really sucked for me. Probably not a shocker that an Elder Scrolls game has a massive story with plenty of side quests, most of which feature interesting people and places with a deep connection to the lore of both the single game and the series. Would it shock you if I said that I enjoyed a lot of them? Probably not. The story is deep and rich, and if you aren't hooked from the early onset, I can safely say Skyrim probably isn't for you. Wish I didn't have to be Lizardkin sometimes though. Honestly, I think it'd be awesome to just be another member of Skyrim, but able to do lots of other stuff that isn't in the main gecko-slaying questline. Using dragon hate speech to stumble some wench running at me, and it being thematically and narratively sensible is 10 out of 10 though. There isn't much on the post-launch development front. A few bug fixes, horseback archery, some DLC. I suppose you can call the remastering coming up some post-launch development, but since it hasn't been released yet, I'm not counting it. The paid mods on Steam is worth remembering for a laugh at least. Not a terrible idea, but as usual with Valve, a fucking terrible implementation makes a good idea die. Mods aren't something I'd usually consider when it comes to a retrospective. I'm judging a product presented and sold to me, not my patience for the Nexus mod manager. However, many of the things I brought up as problems with Skyrim can be remedied with mods. Even better, a lot of them are fully functional in the Steam Workshop, so you don't even have to worry about fucking around with third-party applications. I'm not a big mod guy though. I want the experience I bought and I want to feel fulfilled with it. I don't get that fulfillment if I mod in enjoyment or functioning quests. That said though, I used lore-friendly graphics mods in the unofficial patch, and that really helped the experience, but your experience will vary. The refresh is about a month away, and by the looks of it they've just ported the engine updates from Fallout 4 back to Skyrim's version of the creation engine. Or maybe they ported Skyrim to Fallout 4's version of the creation engine. I don't know, but either way I'm assuming it's going to perform similarly to Fallout 4, so badly, but at least it'll look nice. I don't need much incentive to play Skyrim again, but the fact I'm going to be getting an updated, full DLC copy of Skyrim for free with a supposedly remastered engine and graphics has me chuffed.